Oh, and mine's and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And today at school we learned how to put screwdrivers in light bulb sockets. But do me a favor and hit that like button because I said so. And this week we're going to carry instead the Craftsman compact pocket knife. So let's get this thing out of the package. This came from Saints EDC as well. So let's say thanks to him in the comments for making this possible. I traded him for it. Come on, gimme, gimme, gimme. Time! So let's take a look at what we're holding because it'll bother you if I don't, and you know I love you. So first things first and most importantly, the pocket clip is tipped down, and I hate tip down, but we all live in sin. But glorious news, it is reversible. We have got plastic scales, we got a steel liner, we have got a compression style lock, so let's, a little bit awkward to use, but we're going to figure that out. But yeah, it opens and closes off that. We got a thumb stud, let's flick the stud. Man, that was weak. Yeah, I'll have to get used to that. No centrifugal open. All right, so this is the Craftsman compact pocket knife. That is a T8 right there. And this is one that had been on my list for a little while anyways, but Saints EDC and more. He sent me a surprise package. I sent him some beads. He sent me just some stuff I didn't know what he was sending. And this was in there, and it had been on my list for a little while to check out just because stuff like this interests me. You know, I want to see how knives from tool companies do. And this is one of those where it's got one of the marks of the beast. They won't identify what the steel is on it. They don't tell you what the steel is, and that, of course, always sets off a couple of red flags. But, you know, it marks it as stainless, so it's probably 3CR or something along those lines, or 440. We're going to do Cardboard Slayer with this at some point in the near future. We're going to test that out and see how it do. But, you know, like I said, the knife we were going to carry this week, turns out it was a knockoff, so I had to remove that from rotation. So we're going to go ahead and carry this. I've been excited about it since it came in, and I've been wanting to play with it, so now we get a chance to. But, come on, do my bidding. Do my bidding. I will say, I like the fact that it comes with a wire pocket clip, and it feels like a plenty strong wire pocket clip. That is heaps good. Yeah, so we got that. All right. Yeah. The lock on this feels really good. The lock on it feels really good. The thumb stud on it, it's a pretty good flick. I like what I'm seeing here so far. And maybe if I play with it some, it'll start centrifugal opening. It's not doing it right now, but that's okay. It's got the nice compression style lock flip, which I like seeing. That is at least a nice, interesting touch on something that you don't see very often. I really like it. So let's take a look at our factory edge and see how that's doing. I wish it would have identified the steel for us, guys. I wish we'd know. I wish we would have known. That's a mid to high 200s. If I had to guess, mid to high 200s. It feels like it's a clean edge. It feels like it's a toothy edge, so it's going to do a lot of good for general use. You know, it's not the fine, highly polished edge that I like, but on knives like this, because it's like 15 bucks for this. It's like 15 bucks, all right? If this does good enough and the steel is a decent CR series steel or a decent version of 440, this might be a hell of a value for 15 bucks. I mean, you're getting the lock on this, the build quality, like the build feels good, all right? The scales feel really cheap, but they're fit up really well. You got the wire pocket clip, you got the fun lock, like there's a lot going on. I love the pop of red on the thumb studs too. Like that is heaps good. That is heaps good, you guys. But, of course, this is the edge sharpness tester that you guys kindly provided through super chats, channel memberships, donations, and all that. So thank you for that. I'll always be grateful for that. Sorry, I'm tripping on my words, guys. I had a full work day, and I had to spend a lot of time thinking about that OTF before I decided to kick it. So, yeah, a lot's been going on mentally. But let's see where we're at. Everyone stand back. I'm arming the boy. I don't know yet whether or not I decided to do the house explosion on that. But let's flick the studs. All right. 364. Woof. I got that well centered. All right, let's take one more test on a slightly different part of the blade. You guys can watch the numbers shift around a little bit. That 364 is rough. When we do Cardboard Slayer, I bet we're going to have to sharpen it in no time flat. But this is the kind of thing I like practicing freehand sharpening on too. So let's tear this out. 249. Okay, so the 249 is about what I expected. There may have been a little bit of a rough spot. There may be a trace of burr left over from the factory. I'm feeling like there might be something tiny left behind. If I was prone to stropping things before I carried them, I would, but you know I like carrying stuff on the factory edge and seeing how that does first. So I think I'm going to really like this week. I think I'm going to really like it. I think I'm going to enjoy the $15 special because I love finding stuff like this. I love stuff like this. When stuff like this turns out to be good and performs well, this makes my whole month. You know, especially like and again, this is coming from someone who used to be unable to afford much of anything and be on an incredibly tight budget. Like, you know, $2 a day for breakfast was a bit of a reach. You know, something like this would have been fantastic. You know, this would have been like, I cannot tell you if this would have shown up, say, in my Christmas stocking or something like that, how hard this would have made my day. That's part of why I love finding stuff like this, because I remember what it was like where this might have been the top of my budget right there. That $15 may have taken a couple of weeks to scrape together, you know. So, and back then, stuff like this just didn't exist. You know, if you had $15, you were getting something with barely heat-treated 440 steel or barely heat-treated 420 J2 that bent whenever an ant farted on it. I remember those days very, very vividly. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to carrying this. I'm guessing it's going to be a pretty good week overall. The factory edge may make me a little bit unhappy while we use this thing, but I figure it's going to be a pretty good week. You know, the make or break for this thing is going to be Cardboard Slayer, and if we get at least 3 CR13 performance out of it, I'll be okay. If we can get 5 CR, 7 CR performance out of it, I'll be a lot happier. I think if it was 8 CR, they would have announced it was 8 CR, but we don't know what it is, so we're going in kind of blind. But yeah, we're going to carry it, and it may be the end of the week. It may be this week's live stream. I'm not sure. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is kind of my first raw reaction to actually handling this thing, and honestly, I can't find anything I hate about it yet. You know, the only thing that I could wind up hating about this is that the blade steel's trash. That's it. If the blade steel winds up being trash, I'm going to be kind of upset with that, but, you know, I got a feeling it'll be at least passable for blade steel. So, I can't think of anything else to say that I haven't said, so all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We've got our live streams, regular videos. There's plenty of activities. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this thing. If you've got one, let us know how it's treating you so far. Of course, we're going to plug some products from friends of the channel. I don't make any money off them. They are not affiliate links, just supporting some friends of the channel. I do have my Amazon store up. Use it or don't, that's up to you. It's just a good place for me to show you stuff that I like. You can go look at it and buy it completely by yourself and not use that link. And as always, we are going to link up to Cutting Lacey EDC's Diamond Emulsion if you want to step your stropping game up, make it easier to sharpen your blades, and keep them sharp. Wonderful product. I use it myself on every single knife I sharpen now. And we are going to link up to Mad Yocco's Wax. If you want to protect your blades that are prone to corrosion, if you want to darken up the color of your micarta, or take care of a million other things, he is going to be on Blade Binge with his wax. Alright, just supporting some friends of the channel and some small businesses. So, can't think of anything else to add about that, so all that being said, y'all have a nice day.